I got a very important message for the Disney company. Please let go of the 20th Century Fox and Sony and give all their money back because that company doesn't belong to them. It belongs to themselves. And most of all, give us back our 2D hand-drawn animation. We need the Golden Age films back. Big time. Robin Hood, please help me out on this one, will ya? Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka BoobUp197. This is my review for today, and today's review, ladies and dudes, well, my friends, it's that time again for another movie review, and for this movie review I'm going to do for today is another underrated Disney classic. And this is one of my favorite films that I truly enjoyed back from my childhood. So for my next movie review is Robin Hood. And yes, Robin Hood was based by, I'm not sure if it's a tall tale or a legend or something that was based by a book. I'm not sure. I know there's a lot of versions of Robin Hood. There's too many to choose from. But I think I'd rather stay with our good old Disney classic. And yes, all the characters are truly animals. And animals are one of my most favorite things I'm such a big fan of. Animals rules. Big time. So anyway, without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my movie review number 149 of our favorite underrated Disney classic, Robin Hood. And let's just say I have nothing to say about the story. Well, the story is all about there was a thief named Robin Hood who was stealing a whole lot of rich and give it to the poor. After all, he cares about these poor people so badly because they need the money more than he does. And he wants to win the heart of this lovely fox lady named Maid Marian. And he wants to ask her if he wants to marry her. But he has to be careful. There's this evil prince dude on the loose who's going after people's money. And something really, really bad happening in Nottingham. And that's all I could say about the main plot of the story. And I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? To tell you the truth is, Robin Hood still remains as one of my most favorite films of all time, and truly one of the most underrated Disney films of all time, period. I mean, this movie right here is truly an underrated classic. I just love this movie to death. I just love the storyline. I love the characters. I love the character designs. I love 2D hand-drawn animation. It had a very nice score, very nice songs, good voice acting. And I just miss 2D hand-drawn animation very much. I really want Disney to go back to its normal roots and stop buying things that doesn't belong to them, like 20th Century Fox and Sony. And yeah, Star Wars too. I gotta mention it for all the Star Wars fans. Star Wars fans can't stand Disney buying their company from the Lucasfilms. It would be better if Disney should just let those companies go and just let the companies take care of their own thing and not theirs. Yeah, you could say that the Disney company right now are acting like a bunch of thieves and they're stealing something that belongs to them and not theirs. If you guys get the picture. I just want Disney to go back to its normal roots and bring back 2D hand-drawn animation. We need it back so badly. We need the beautiful hand-drawn animation style and color, ink, or whatever. Just bring back this type of magical feel that happened from Disney many years ago and not this whatever bullcrap they're doing. If you know what I mean. So anyway, let's head on to the strongest points and the weakest points of Robin Hood. I will say for the strongest points for this movie is seeing all the characters as animals. This is one of the best versions I have ever seen that feature all of our favorite characters as animals. I mean, there are so many cool animals to choose from, like lions, foxes, bears, chicken, rabbit, wolf, some birds here and there, a dog. There's a lot of good animals to choose from. Animals rules! They rock! And I really love the part about what Disney had done back then when they made their own version of Robin Hood. They decided to make all these wonderful characters as animals. And that is pretty darn awesome. So I have nothing else to say about the strongest point for this movie. So the strongest point of this movie is seeing all of our characters as animals. That rocks! And now let's go on to the weakest points of this movie. And yes, I will admit it does have a weak point in there. And this movie does have a few mistakes. I mean, I found a few mistakes here and there. Even the part with Prince John's rings. There was one point it was there in his fingers, and there are some points that his rings had disappeared for some unknown reason. So yes, there's a couple of mistakes here and there I did found with this movie. So yep, I will say my biggest weakest point of this movie is there's a few mistakes going on in this film. And now let's go on to the characters. Man, there's a lot of good characters to choose from. But I will stay with one character I love the best, and that is Robin Hood, who is known as the Fox. Robin Hood is truly my favorite character in the whole entire movie. I mean, this character rules. He had a fantastic storyline, he has a great personality, great attitude, he is such a good looking and handsome character who is truly a fox. And I mean, he is something. And I love the part where Robin Hood really does care about the poor people very much. He really cares about them a lot. They always say that Robin Hood is truly their hero. And I really like the part where Robin Hood was doing the rightful thing. I know stealing things is pretty darn wrong, but giving money to the poor, he did the rightful thing. He really wants to give all the poor people some money so they could survive. You know, try to buy some clothes, some food, or whatever else they want so they could survive. I mean, he's such a nice guy. I mean, he's really nice. And I do like his partner, Little John. And yes, ladies and dudes, there is an interesting fun fact about the actor who played Little John. The guy who's known as Phil Harris. He was there in all three of the three classical films. The Jungle Book, The Aristocats, and Robin Hood. And I'm afraid that Robin Hood is truly the last and final movie that he has ever been featured in a Disney film. And I think he never done another Disney film again since. I know there's some rumor has it there's somebody from the Disney company, well, back from the 80s, they would like to ask him to come back and reprise his role as Baloo for Tailspin. I think he was only there for season 1, and they decided to add somebody else to play Baloo for Tailspin, if you guys remember that show or not. So yeah, Phil Harris, I really love that actor, and he did a really good job of playing Little John. I can't believe he played 2 bears in 2 different Disney films. That was a cool looking fun fact to point out. Yeah, I really miss 2D hand-drawn animation that Disney made, and I wish they should have gone back and do more of it and not whatever they're doing. I don't mind Pixar, and I don't want a couple live action films here and there, but I just want them to go back to their normal roots and just bring back something that we knew and loved back in our childhood. And maybe Disney will go back to its roots again, if you know what I mean. So anyway, let's head on to my final thoughts of Robin Hood. Overall, Robin Hood is such a great movie and truly a very underrated Disney classic. It had a really good storyline, likable characters. It has beautiful 2D hand-drawn animation. I love the part where all the characters are animals. I really do love the song, and I love the score and all that stuff. So this is a very good film to watch. And so for my rating for this film, I decided to give it a 9 out of 10. It's just a great underrated classic indeed. And that is it, ladies and dudes. That's my whole entire movie review of Robin Hood. And join me next time for my 150th movie review. And I have no idea what it is yet. We'll wait and see what happens. It's coming up really, really soon. I can't wait. So, that is it for now. I'll see you guys later, and sayonara.